An irritating night at Wrigley as the Cubs lose to the Pirates. Let's talk about it.
You are Locked On Cubs, your daily Chicago Cubs podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are Locked On Cubs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day, alongside Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. Sam and I are lifelong fans, taking our passion into a discussion with you on all things Cubs. Although one commenter the other day questioned if I was a lifelong fan. Thank you for being part of the show and making Locked On Cubs your first listen today. And the best way you can help us grow the show is to listen every day, like the video, and comment anything below. Today's episode is presented by FanDuel. Make every moment more. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 with any winning $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to get started. God! Justin Steele got hit around again by the Pirates as the Cubs lost 5-4 on Thursday night. Cubs begin the 4-game series on the wrong side of the scoreboard, and now will need to respond this weekend to at least split. Steele allowed 5 runs on 6 hits and 5 2/3, walked 1 and struck out 7. ERA up to 5.68 in 19 innings. Dating back to last season, the Cubs are 0-8 in Steele's last 8 starts. Sam, the time is here. Should we be worried about Justin Steele?
Yeah, so I'm glad you posed it that way because, I posted a couple things on Twitter and, the unanimous Cub bloggers and reporters were saying, hey, he's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. I agree. He's going to be totally fine. But you know what? That doesn't change the fact that the Cubs just scored 12 runs in 2 Justin Steele starts against the Pirates and lost both of them. So I think my answer to your question is, am I concerned? Short term, yes, because we just lost 2 games to an inferior opponent that, those games are precious. They just are. Okay. You're now 2-2 against the Pirates, and you lost 2 Justin Steele starts where I thought offensively today, were they good? No. Were they good enough? Yes. Jared Jones is a good pitcher. The over-under on the game was 7.5. This was a 4-3, 5-3 type of game, and you knew you were going to need a good, solid 6 innings, 2 runs or less effort from the guy that's supposed to lead this rotation, and it didn't happen. He did not get much help from his defense today. Nick Madrigal needs to turn that double play in the first inning. Doesn't happen. Seiya Suzuki with seems like his twice a year whiff in right field that just looks like he, has never fielded a fly ball before. But at the end of the day, you should not be getting beat by Edward Olivares and Nick Gonzalez. You just shouldn't. Those are the 2 guys that went deep. Connor Joe, O'Neill Cruz, Michael Taylor, Edward Olivares, and Nick Gonzalez. Wow. 5 home runs versus Justin Steele in 2 straight outings. I thought in a vacuum tonight, he wasn't terrible. Those were some wind-dated kind of cheaper home runs. He got some whiffs. The velocity looked good. I don't think it's a health thing. I think Justin Steele will be just fine long-term, but I am very frustrated that we are now 2-2 against the Pirates. Both his starts is where he got beat. Alex Pat on Twitter is a good follow, did post that he's always struggled against the Pirates. So maybe it's just one of those things. But
I guess, yeah.
Similar to Adbert Alzolay, it is fair to be concerned because Justin Steele doesn't have a super long track record. He has a year and a half, track record of being really good. But I'm not there. I'm not long-term concerned. I'm short-term frustrated that we are now a 25-20 ball club, and 2 of those losses came to Pittsburgh when we scored 8 and 4 runs with the guy that's supposed to lead our rotation on the mound.
Well, very well said by you. And the Cubs did battle again against Jones, but he also had, as I dropped my wedding ring, as I
you're upset.
Down. Well, it doesn't fit anymore. I'm down 14 pounds the last month. So, but I do fidget with it, especially after losses. So anyway, the 8-pitch inning, it helped him. It helped the Bucks. It didn't help.
It's a good point.
The Cubs, and they went Chapman to Holderman to Bednar, and the bottom of the 8th is still stuck in my mind, Sam, because you have the Suzuki hit by pitch. Holderman's a crazy man out there. at times. Bellinger reaches on an error. They can't play the field anymore. Second and third, no outs. And they only get one run in the inning on a Morel sac fly. Hap strikes out, which great response to see him hit a homer second pitch. But in that situation,
should not be batting fifth in the order. You shouldn't be batting fifth.
Yeah, his batting order position was, I think the Cubs were victim to that in that particular situation. Michael Busch walks, and then Madrigal grounds out. I want to follow up on Madrigal later in the segment.
Yeah.
I don't care. Well, I care. Here, let me put it like this. I know how Imanaga and Assad are doing, but Steele, for this team in this moment in 2024, as far as I know right now on May 16, Justin Steele still needs to perform as the top of the rotation guy. Yeah. I know how those dudes are throwing. I know that other guys have had nice outings. Tyone coming back. Wicks when he was around. But he still has to be that person. And for you to describe it that way in two outings against the Pirates, and for the Cubs to do what they have offensively and to come out 0-2, and then, which I'm not a huge fan of, but we do the retroactive to last year. I mean, 0-8 is striking. 0-8 is 2.5 series worth of games.
Yep.
That's not a small amount of games.
And some of those games he threw well, but about half of them he was poor.
When Steele pitches, they can't win a game. 0 for your last 8. So yeah, short-term frustration right now.
Yep. 30 minutes.
Long-term worry. Hard to get onto that path right now, but the bricks are being laid out, and that's unfortunate. I hope he bounces back next week.
Yeah, and I just think too, it's just really, we talked about this off the air, like this game really sets the tone, because now it's just really tough to win the series. Now
so.
You're going to be underdogs on Friday. You're going to be heavy favorites on Saturday, and then Sunday is going to be a total toss-up game. The odds that you win all 3 of those is just very low. I mean, very low. Just based off of just math, it's just very, very low to win those 3 games. So you're looking at a split at home against Pittsburgh, and sure, there's a lot of other factors to it. If Martin Perez or Priester's throwing, Cubs probably run away with this game, but that's not what they got.
Right.
They're facing tough pitchers. I think it's going to benefit the Cubs, though, in the long run. Like, I really do. Like, they faced Dylan Cease, Jared Jones twice now, Paul Skeens twice, Chris Sale. And then, don't look at the Atlanta series. You're going to see Sale, Morton, Freed, those 3 men. So, you're going to see a lot of these guys, but I think long term
it pays off, huh?
Yeah, it'll because they have the only guy they really looked overwhelmed against Cease and Sale.
Right.
But they've hung in there. And I actually do think they're going to come back on Friday and win that baseball game. The only thing I have up in the air on that is just the wind. If the wind's howling out with Hendricks on the mound, forget it. But if it's a neutral day, if it's not crazy, I think the Cubs saw Skeens pretty well and will do all right and bounce back. But it still doesn't make up for the fact that, this is a bad loss. And, one thing and this is really what the root of the Ian Happ rant is like, because I see a lot of guys like, you can't get on Steele. Like, look, I love Justin Steele, but it's not like he's Kyle Hendricks or John Lester or Jake Arrieta. Like, he had 1.5-ish good seasons. He's never, it's like, it's okay. You know what I mean? There's certain guys that just, I feel like that we just like, we treat like we can't get on them. And I kind of felt like that with Hap, not with the fan base, but with the Cubs. Like, hey, it's Ian. We trust Ian. It's like, well, what is really Ian? What has he accomplished in a Cubs uniform? A lot, but not something at the level where he's immune to being benched. And he got benched and came back and hit a home run. So good for them. And by the way, that's what that was. It was a benching. They're going to code it like, oh, it was just a good mental health day. Well, when you're a big leaguer and you need a mental health day when you're struggling, that's code for benching. So, it's okay to get on some of these guys. And it's just frustrating that they lost 2 against the Pirates. I think Steele will make up for it later on. Maybe he comes back strong against the Bravos his next time out and pitches well against that team. But very frustrating loss. Bad defense, bad starting pitching, awesome effort from the bullpen. Hayden
Yeah,
Wesneski
wow.
and Tyson Miller. Boy, how refreshing is it to just watch someone come in and get the ball over the plates?
Yeah, and I think Brown and Wisniewski might be available both on Friday, which could be interesting. Certainly in a Friday, Saturday, Sunday situation. So I do feel good about when the starters turn over the ball the next 3 days. We'll get more into the Cubs Pirates series next segment. Tyson Miller went the 8th and 9th frame, Sam. He's got a couple different arm angles he uses. I enjoy watching him pitch so far. 2 nice outings in Cubs colors after debuting in this league with the Cubs. He's now back with that team, and I hope he gets further opportunities, at least in this segment where he's going to be on the club. And then lastly, for this opening part of the show, Sam, Nico Horner hopefully back Friday. He's already on the roster, obviously. Yep. Dansby Swanson, Boog dropped in his pregame knowledge, likely back on Tuesday.
Yep.
When he gets activated Tuesday to lead off that series, Braves is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week. Does Nick Madrigal go down?
I like Miles Mastrobuoni better.
Me too.
Than Nick Madrigal. I don't know the answer, but that's.
I think he should, dude.
Yeah.
No, come on. What are we doing here? He swung at a pitch that was in the other batter's box, halfway in it.
It is kind of, it's quite shocking. Forget the fact that he has the power of somebody that's never hit a homer before, because he's only hit about 6. It's the lack of baseball instinct for me. Somebody like him that has he has no power, right? He's not hitting for average.
He doesn't barrel a ball.
Yeah, but he's not a smart baseball player. He makes a lot of boneheaded plays on the infield. He doesn't have great instinct. He doesn't have great speed. Like Mastro's got great speed. Yeah. You know, Mastro can play short. Mastro can play third. I think he's a better fit.
Yeah, me too.
One standout, though, for me in this game, and this is not a knock on him because his numbers, he's one of those guys. He's going to start getting hot again. I just want to shout out Christopher Morel hitting 208.
I saw that you wrote that.
He had some big at-bats today, and they didn't come through. And his at-bats are good, just frustrating. Like, I don't know about you. I thought Bellinger had a home run today. But he didn't hit it hard, died at the track. And then that Morel, he got a hanger. And, you know, when Morel gets a hanger, you're usually used to just seeing it go over the head. And I didn't hear a loud crowd reaction. And I knew when that ball was caught in left field and Bellinger couldn't tag, it felt like the inning was over.
It sounded okay off the bat, but then Sawinski, came in, and it was like, what?
And it was just one of those tantalizing losses because it's just like Mastro hits a ball right to the wall, wind blowing out, just misses it by that much. Bellinger just misses it. It was one of those games, and
right.
You know, I don't know. I'm frustrated about that loss.
Well, if they win Friday, as you say, you do feel good about going up 2-1 in the series then. And we'll talk about the rest of the series right after this. Welcome to our new partner here on Locked On Cubs, SupplyHouse. Get supplies from the site that's made for the skilled trades, SupplyHouse.com. SupplyHouse is the reliable way to order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Shop a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from over 400 top brands that get your order delivered right to your door with fast shipping from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Get expert support and industry-leading service from the friendliest folks in the business, and talk to a real person every time. Pros in the skilled trades can get a competitive edge by joining SupplyHouse free Trade Master program. Every Trade Master gets access to a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Join the thousands of trade pros already benefiting from their free membership at supplyhouse.com/TM and order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies from anywhere with just a few clicks at supplyhouse.com. Check out SupplyHouse today. Cubs play the Pirates at 1:20 p.m. Central on Friday, and you can hear every pitch of the Cubs hometown broadcast on Sirius XM by searching Cubs on the SXM app. And I was not able to confirm this by our recording time, Sam, but Pat Hughes did not do the game on radio on Thursday. And Zach Zaidman, according to Marquis' website, is supposed to do the game for them on Sunday. So Zach Zaidman's TV debut on play-by-play.
Oh, wow.
We'll see what happens with radio this weekend. It's going to be Hendricks and Skeens, Emenaga, Falter, Tyone, and Keller. Cubs look good against Skeens. It'd be good to discuss that a little more.
Glad I'll be
in the Major League debut for the hyped rookie. Suzuki is going to be my player to watch, Sam. But really, Mastro looked good against Skeens. Talkman, Morel, Horner, who could return as soon as Friday. And Hendricks did record a nice comeback outing on Sunday.
Yeah, the spread right now in that game is even, -110 apiece. So,
okay. All right, well, that's a little bit of a surprise.
I'll be at that game Sunday, watch along Saturday, so hopefully we get some better luck. Matt, do you want to know? Do you want to know what the Cubs catchers are batting in the month of May?
Can I guess?
So they've had here. How about you do this? They've had 52 official at bats. Would you like to know how many hits they have combined?
10.
7.
Okay.
That's a 134 batting average from the catcher position. And no, that doesn't mean it was a mistake to get rid of Wilson Contreras.
What? What?
Well, because I get a lot of that.
That was forever ago.
It just means you need more
free agency.
You need more production from the current group of guys that you have. And sometimes it's not a minor league answer. Sometimes it's not that. Sometimes it's, hey, Jan, hey, Miguel, can you hit like just bad hitters instead of historically awful?
Right. Well, that's Saturday watch along. I'm looking forward to. Bailey Falter did pitch 6 innings of 2-run ball on Sunday.
Yeah, that won't happen on Saturday.
But Emenaga has been the best pitcher in baseball for the most part.
So let me
it's supposed to be warm this weekend.
Let me just tell you what I'm scared of. I don't think this will happen, but I'm scared of this.
Okay.
I think it was May of 2022, 4-game series against the Buccos. Tough loss Friday, tough loss Thursday, tough loss Friday, 21-0 Saturday, tough loss Sunday. Don't give me that stuff.
Yeah.
Don't do that, fellas.
Right. I liked you taking the page, I don't think knowingly, but now I'm going to reveal it, from Theo Epstein earlier. Every win is sacred. Every game is sacred.
Yeah, it's not that I'm long-term concerned about Justin Steele. I'm short-term angry that he's 0-2 against Pittsburgh. Just give me one of those ball games, man.
So you'll do what? You've been doing pretty much consistently, 4.5 innings?
I don't know what I'm going to do. How's that? Hopefully I got this Ethernet
Well, that's
cable.
why it's more of a freestyle effort.
Get some good connection and just kind of let it ride. And I'm +6 on the year, run differential wise on those things. Hopefully make it +10, +11, and move on with my Saturdays. So frustrated right now.
Yeah, your hair shows it. Mitch Keller has pitched well recently, but Cubs with good career numbers off him, including Ian Happ, who has 3 career homers off Keller, the Cedar Rapids native. Morel, Suzuki, and Bellinger all really good against Keller in small samples as well. Jamison Tyone did get lit up in his last start.
Somehow only got charged with
bounce back.
Yeah, I think hopefully Kyle can keep the ball in the park on Friday. We get Skeens out of there early. That was the other thing you mentioned it briefly. 8 pitches from Jones. That 8-pitch inning that changed the whole game because he wouldn't have gotten through 6. And Chapman, their bullpen had their A game today. Those 7, 8, 9 guys. That's what they designed before the season, and it worked out to their benefit tonight. But it was also just this was all those things. This was frustrated with Steele, no timely hitting, bad defense, some unluckiness there. I got to figure out. I got to study Cody Bellinger's swing. I mean, Whenever he hits the ball deep, now I don't even get up because I don't think it's a homer. And then the next time it's going to like hit the scoreboard or something. I have no idea where his ball goes. Like, I was not the only one that first inning. I thought he crushed that ball.
Yeah, I think everyone did.
And it didn't even get in the basket.
Yeah, I mean, it was high in the air. So
It wasn't that high. It wasn't that high. He just didn't hit it hard. He just didn't hit it hard.
I know he didn't hit it hard.
No, I think if it was higher in the air, it would have carried because the wind was blowing out.
FM, he hit it.
I really was hoping Mastro would get that homer. Would have been cool for him.
Yeah. He's looking great, man.
Yeah, well. We're 25-20, so.
Okay. Yes, I know. So. All right, well, coming up next, we haven't done this. What?
Just sorry.
We should have done Friday trivia as a surprise.
Nah, I'm good, man. I'm just a little frustrated.
All right, best and worst.
I know my worst.
So we'll see what happens there. Stay tuned.
First, this episode is brought to you by FanDuel. It's winner take all time in the NBA and NHL, and FanDuel is giving you a shot to bring home a win. A big win of your own. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 to bet on spreads, money lines, player props, and more. The Boston Celtics are the favorites for the NBA title at -125, with the Nuggets next at +220. However, as we speak, the Nuggets are down 30 in Minnesota, which means we will have a Game 7 Saturday evening in Denver. The Dallas Stars are the favorites for the Stanley Cup at +230. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and make every playoff shot count. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook.
Locked On Sports Today has launched the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube. Locked On Sports Today covers the top sports stories of the day with the local experts of Locked On, plus our national shows covering every league. Search Locked On Sports Today on YouTube and subscribe to the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel. And I do have confirmation from my broadcast sources. It's going to be Zach Zaidman in the Marquee TV booth on Sunday. Pat Hughes will be on the radio call. Matt Spiegel will be the third man in the booth doing pre and post. And that's, of course, all subject to change, as all of this is. We're all subject to change in a way.
Quick correction. Game 7 will be Sunday, Denver.
Got it. Got it. All right, Sam. Best and worst of the week. What do you have?
My worst of the week is that we went 1-3 so far. So that's pretty easy for me. We won one game this week.
No, my worst is the Brewers keep winning.
Yeah.
It has to be, if it's going to be baseball related, especially. I mean, these guys are annoying. They are. They're an annoying bunch.
Yeah, got to hat tip them.
And I don't really have any bets. So.
I think they're gonna get beat up this weekend in Houston.
Oh, okay.
Houston's starting.
Yeah, they play a good team next week too, if I recall.
Houston's starting to get warm. So
okay.
But yeah.
All right, well, we can tell you're irritated. So.
No, I mean, look, I could talk about this for hours, but it's just going to go to, these losses, these one run. I just wish, if we're going to lose, I like losing like we did the other night in Atlanta. I notice how calm I was after a 7-0.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I don't like
we're understanding, we're learning more as podcasters.
Yeah, I just don't, these 5-4 games, they irk me, or as the kids say, they give me the ick.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us here. Thank you so much for checking out this edition of Locked On.
Make fun of my hair, man.
You give us 20 to 30 minutes. We'll give you all things Cubs with a laugh or two along the way. Be sure to hit subscribe on YouTube as we make the push to 10,000 subscribers.
It's in my back.
Smash the like button for the algorithm and leave a 5-star review on Apple, Spotify, everywhere you get your podcasts. And if you want more Matt and Sam, consider supporting us by subscribing to our Unlocked podcast. We recorded an episode right before first pitch on Thursday, and it was a good one. The link to subscribe to Unlocked is in this episode description. All right, let's see how the Cubs respond this weekend. He's Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. This is Locked On Cubs.